Grace's wedding night ended with her dress drenched in blood and her in-laws exploding into mist. But surviving the Ladomas family was only the beginning. They were just one branch of a six-family global shadow council. Above them all sits Chester Danforth. He holds what's known as the High Seat, a position of such immense influence that he can pick up a phone, give a single order, and instantly halt an international war. When Chester dies and Grace survives her initiation, the established hierarchy shatters. The High Seat becomes vacant, suddenly putting absolute authority over the planet back up for grabs. The supernatural benefactor providing this power goes by the name Mr. LaBelle. The name shuffles exactly into Belial, an ancient demon from religious mythology. To claim Belial's empty throne, the remaining billionaires must hunt Grace down before dawn. The prize is the right to rule the modern world. The deadly competition takes place on the sprawling, walled-in grounds of a luxury country club. 4 powerful dynasties arrive to play: the Vaughns from Shanghai, the Rajans from London, the Alcacios from Madrid, and the Danforth twins from the United States. Grace is trapped inside the compound alongside her estranged sister, Faith. She now has to navigate a squad of heavily armed elites while keeping her completely unprepared sibling alive. Facing 4 coordinated factions with unlimited resources, brute force is mathematically useless. Grace has to study the specific restrictions governing her attackers, turning their own legal framework against them. The entire ritual is governed by the bylaws, a massive, rigid legal text dictating every permitted move. The hunters cannot use modern firearms. They are strictly limited to the specific ancestral weapons their families carried when they originally signed their pacts with LaBelle centuries ago. The game commences at exactly 2:31 p.m. This precise timing references the biblical verse Joel 2:31, which details the signs preceding an apocalyptic judgment. The text predicts a sudden eclipse, blacking out the sun before the destruction begins. It then describes the arrival of a crimson moon, casting an eerie light over the incoming devastation. These are airtight contractual clauses. Any player who violates the bylaws faces immediate, violent termination of their entire bloodline. Grace gets her first opening during a chaotic melee when the head of the Vaughn family accidentally buries her katana into an Alcacio family member's neck. The bylaws forbid killing fellow council members. In an instant, the offending Vaughn matriarch and her son, safely tucked away in the viewing room, detonate into gore. Realizing the rules are enforced with unthinking literalism, Grace engineers a standoff, cornering Titus Danforth behind protective glass with Faith held hostage. Faster. Calculating. She offers Titus a deal. Marry her. Under the bylaws, a legal marriage immediately merges their interests. Titus accepts. The second they sign the ledger in blood and kiss, the hunt formally concludes. Titus absorbs Grace's surviving status and inherits the High Seat. Before he can celebrate, Grace drives the sharp metal blood pen directly into his throat. The system registers no foul. Because they are legally married, killing him is classified as an internal family dispute, bypassing the inter-council murder ban entirely. By threading these 2 loopholes back to back, Grace eliminates her final competitor and secures the absolute power of the High Seat for herself. She slips the heavy gold ring onto her finger. The remaining billionaires, lawyers, and even the ceremonial goat immediately drop to their knees in submission. Then she takes the ring off, verbally renounces the High Seat, and tosses the artifact into a sacrificial pit. This breaks the logic of the satanic contract. The pact assumes human greed as a constant. LaBelle never accounted for a victor surrendering global supremacy. Staring at a blank spot in their ancient laws, the elites realize the seat is vacant, triggering immediate panic. The game requires a sitting ruler by dawn. The billionaires scramble into the pit, desperately clawing at each other to find the ring as the final minutes tick down. The sun rises over the country club. Because no one claimed the ring in time, the deadline passes, and every remaining council member violently explodes. Covered in the ashes of the world's richest families, Grace grabs Faith's hand and walks out the front gate. She beat a rigged system by simply refusing to own it.